You know, it powers our lives from the second we wake up to the moment we go to sleep. But most of us, we barely give it a second thought. I'm talking about your home's electrical system, that silent, invisible network running through your walls. Today, we're going to tune in and listen to what that system might be trying to tell you.
I mean, think about it for a second. That weird flicker you see when the air conditioner kicks on, or that one outlet that always feels a little warm to the touch. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. These aren't just random little quirks. They are messages, signals, and we're going to decode them because, really, understanding them is the key to a safer home.
All right, so let's start with the symptoms. These common annoyances that we all tend to ignore, they're often the very first and sometimes the only warning signs that your electrical system is under some serious stress.
Okay, take a look at this list. Does any of this sound a little too familiar? A circuit breaker that keeps tripping isn't just an inconvenience, folks. It's a blaring signal that a circuit is overloaded. And that buzzing sound from your panel, or worse, a weird fishy or burning smell, those are urgent warnings. That's your house practically screaming that there's a potential danger. So what's the deal? Well, a lot of the time, the root of the problem is just age. If your home was built in that post-war boom, its electrical system was designed for a handful of lights and maybe a refrigerator. It was never, ever meant to handle our modern world of computers, giant TVs, and all our high-powered kitchen gadgets. So, to really understand these issues, we need to go to the source. We need to look at the heart of the entire system, the electrical panel. Your electrical panel, you know, the breaker box? It's basically the command center. It takes all that power coming into your house and divides it up into smaller circuits. And each of those circuits is protected by a breaker. In a healthy system, if you try to draw too much power, that breaker is supposed to trip. It cuts the electricity to stop the wires from overheating. But what happens when it doesn't?
And this is the absolutely crucial point. Some of these older panels have a well-documented history of failure. The breakers just don't do their one critical job. They fail to trip. And when that happens, the circuit wires can get incredibly hot, creating a massive fire hazard right there inside your walls.
And these are the names you really need to look for. Seriously. Federal Pacific, Zinsco, or Challenger. If you go to your electrical panel and see one of these brand names on it, you need to know you are looking at a known fire risk. These brands are infamous for design flaws, and they often can't pass a home inspection for a reason. So this brings us to the central conflict that's happening in millions of homes right now. It's the struggle between that aging, outdated infrastructure we just talked about and the absolutely massive power demands of our modern lives. I mean, the difference is just stark. Older homes, they were typically built with a 100-amp service, which back in the 60s was plenty. But today, with central air, electric ovens, all our computers, smart home devices, gaming consoles, the standard is 200-amp service. And this isn't about luxury anymore. It's about being able to safely power a modern lifestyle. And to really put that into perspective, look at this number. That's the demand from just one single device, a level 2 electric vehicle charger. It needs its own dedicated circuit that can pull up to 60 amps. That's more than half the entire capacity of an old 100-amp panel, just for one car. It's the perfect analogy, really. When you demand more power than a circuit can safely give, you're creating an electrical traffic jam. The system's only defense is to trip that breaker. But if you're constantly pushing those limits, you're not just creating an annoyance, you're putting a dangerous amount of strain on the whole system. Okay, so we've identified the problems. Now let's talk about the solution. And this is so critical because the stakes are so high. Electrical work is not a DIY project.
Trying to save a few bucks with an unlicensed handyman or trying to fix it yourself, it can have catastrophic consequences. We're talking about unpermitted work, getting your home sale blocked, your insurance company denying a claim after a fire, and most importantly, creating severe shock and fire hazards that put your entire family at risk.
This is exactly why the electrical code exists. Don't think of it as red tape. Think of it as a rule book written from decades of learning from electrical failures. It's a set of minimum safety standards that are designed purely to protect you and your property. A licensed professional follows a clear, transparent process. They'll diagnose the real issue, give you a price right up front, handle all the necessary permits, do the work to code, and then make sure it passes a third-party inspection. This whole process isn't just about getting the work done, it's about getting it done safely and correctly. And a huge part of that code-compliant work is installing modern safety devices.
You've probably seen these. A GFCI, or ground fault circuit interrupter, is designed to prevent you from getting electrocuted in places with water, like your kitchen or bathroom. Then there's the AFCI, an arc fault circuit interrupter. This one is designed to detect dangerous arcing in wires that can start fires, which is why they're required in bedrooms.
Okay, wow, we've covered a lot of ground here, from warning signs to panel upgrades. So let's bring it all together. What are the most important things for you as a homeowner to take away from all this?
This is your action plan. Take those warning signs seriously. After this, go take a look at your electrical panel. Figure out what brand it is. If a circuit keeps tripping, unplug things from it and stop using it until it gets checked out. And please, never, ever try to fix a sparking outlet yourself. The risk is just way too high. Always, and I mean always, insist on a licensed professional who pulls a permit for the work.
And all of this leaves us with one final, pretty crucial question. This isn't just about being safe today, it's about being ready for tomorrow. As our world gets more and more electrified, the demands on our homes are only going to grow. So, is your system prepared for that future, or is it still stuck in the past?